Hello everyone, CrystalFissure here. Welcome back to a new Spyro Reignited Trilogy video. I am less than 12 hours away from heading to Japan, so I'm filming this right now. We're going to talk about Moneybags, we're going to talk about Gulp, and we're going to talk about a few other quick things before I jet off to another country and film all sorts of magic there. So let's delve right into this. Alright, so first we have the new Moneybags, the revisited Moneybags, and I'll tell you what I think about him. I think they've done a fairly good job overall. What I do like about him is that he is quite pompous, he's quite smug, and that's very much what he was like in the original game. I guess there was maybe an element of insecurity to him, like he was confident, but I remember the whole I was a bantamweight boxer, trying to reassure himself that he can fight, and then he doesn't. So I kind of like that smug aura that he has to him here. He's also quite significantly larger, at least I guess with it being HD, like with it being more modern or something like that. You can see the painstaking more detail to him, but I still think it's cartoony enough to not be like completely stupid. I think overall very much a fan of this. Very well done so far. Can't wait to see him sort of animated and moving, and of course I think it's going to be Neil Ross voicing him, so that's going to be really exciting. So he's obviously got the monocle as well, and he's holding, of course, the money bag, and that kind of like a little a pendant sort of thing that sort of pops out of his chest a little bit there, like he's suffering from some heart palpitations. The gem, of course, accurate to the original. He's more fluffy. I mean, people have sort of made the memes about how they call him the D word, the daddy. It's definitely the sexualized fan base. I'm not involved, but I can understand the appeal in some weird, twisted way, but do not participate myself. Anyway, that aside, we have Gulp here in Gulp's Overlook. And I'll go back to Moneybags in a minute because I want to talk about Glimmer as well. But Gulp's Overlick. No, that's not what it is. And I really like it actually. It kind of looks like, this almost looks like a concept art or something. That's the thing. I'm really confused. Alice, stop, please. Okay. I don't know if that's actually that's the thing. It's hard to tell with half the screenshots in this game. Like it's kind of odd how that's how it is. But anyway, I think it looks really good. Gulp's Overlook looks like it's darker later in the day. I like the illumination of his laser beams, and I like the fact that he's obviously, I think it's fairly authentic to the original model. What I really like is the sort of chiseled or broken sort of whatever, it's like that kind of prehistoric feet or whatever sort of coming in, and the shadows behind him as well look really cool. But also the chains around him and the teeth, which it look like are they cut off or whatever, or they're sort of that's really cool. He's menacing, but still to me goofy enough to be passable and stuff like that. Cannot wait to see this level again, and like I said before, I can't wait to see everything in motion. All these pictures are fantastic to look at, and I'm a big fan of them, but really can't wait to actually see it all in motion, because when you zoom in it looks like it's a picture, but like a concept art or something like that. But I think it is, I don't know. Honestly, I'm having this internal debate with myself. I don't even know what I'm going to title the video, because I know people get upset if you're in game, then it ends up not being in game. But it's very nice. I guess what I like is that they've kept it the same, while he feels a bit more of a new, what's the word, like fluoro green, but I don't dislike it, because if you compare it to this one, it's sort of more of it's interesting. This is more conceptual, because it is concept art, but you know what I mean, like it kind of feels a little bit more the green is more of an earthy green, I guess you could say, but I guess that's also dependent on the lighting, of course, so you've always got to consider that. But very good stuff. I'm sorry that I didn't get this to you guys earlier, but as I've said, it's been really hectic lately. I'm really excited about all the stuff that's come out in the last few days. Now I'm going to go back and compare them to the other model as well, like this, like the Moneybags here, for example, because I think it's fair enough to do so, and compare it with Gulp as well. So here's Moneybags in both games. You'll notice that Moneybags doesn't seem to be wearing pants, or they're like brown pants or something like that. Never really actually talked about that like during my LPs or anything like that. But yeah, I mean, either he's got brown pants there, and it's possible because look at the kind of shape, the kind of lines on it or something like that. So it could be pants. In the new one, the Reignited one, it's a bit more apparent that he's wearing pants, I guess, even though they are kind of a similar color to him. You'll notice that, yeah, it's obviously more 3D, so like that kind of tie shirt, whatever it even is, that's I think that's a really cool thing. And I also like that it's kind of like his money bag, you know, with the gem icon in it, kind of looks like retro as well, just like the original one does. Like it kind of has this sort of rough, rustic sort of look to it. Shoes are very much similar, but yeah, he's just a bigger guy. Like he's got a larger gut. And then Gulp to Gulp here, you'll see that Gulp's teeth, you know, in the, or lack of, in the original game. So you've got his big teeth there. Some people had complained and said, oh, you know, should have got rid of the teeth. But I think that the idea of having them cut off is a bit of a lore thing. You know, you could argue there's a bit of some deep lore stuff going on there. I think it's actually cool. I really like, again, as I said, the chains on the new one, and the what's it called, the feet, the legs, whatever you want to call them. I don't even know what I'm saying here. I like that he's kind of got that big jaw and big sort of lower face, but you know, I think that the original one is iconic, of course, as well. And I'm really excited to see what Crush looks like as well. You can see him in the corner there of the original shot. But I think if Crush looks anything like Gulp does in terms of the vibe, I'm gonna be happy. Put it that way. I think that it's overall it's excellent, and I like comparing them here. I think that they've done a pretty darn good job. Now, one thing I wanted to talk about as well before I end this video is this whole controversy. I'm just going to briefly touch upon it, but the whole controversy with this game, apparently you needing to download like a day one patch that allows you to play 2 and 3. But I want to point out this post here on Reddit that just sort of talks about how with Insane Trilogy, there was essentially 2 versions of the game that came out, and there was the first release, which required a patch, and then when they did the re-release this year, essentially what they did is the new version came with the 2 levels and stuff like that, came with the downloadable content. So this guy doesn't praise Activision's business practices and stuff like that regarding the release of the game. And to be honest, I'm not keen on the idea of Spyro 2 and 3 not properly being on the disc. But the thing is we actually don't know whether that's actually the case. Everything's been kind of vague from Activision and marketing. So at this point, I almost think I'm not like I'm not an apologist for it, but I think that it's just, we've got to leave it for now because we need to get the full information. I talked about that in the stream with Fringe and Canadian Guy, but I think that, yeah, for now, let's just leave it. If it is in fact the case where it's like you have to, like, 2 and 3 basically are on the disc, you got to download them. Very disappointing, incredibly disappointing, and that brings up to questions about whether the game's been rushed and stuff like that. So yeah, I mean, I'm excited for their second release anyway because I really want a PC version of Reignited Trilogy. Like that's just huge for me. Anyway, the other thing I want to look at here is this dragon here from our well, actually, this is actually Trondor from Dr. Shemp. So this is technically our first look at Dr. Shemp, but not really. Because you can't really see anything in the background. I mean, it looks like a typical Peacekeeper's world. But I'm a big fan of how it looks. I think, is it like holding like a crossbow or like a sword or something like that? I mean, that's kind of cool. I mean, Trondor, he looks a bit more buff than he does in the original version. Yeah, the original version, he's fairly, kind of like Meek Mill-esque. But in this version, I think they've done a really nice job with him. I particularly like the fact that he's kind of got these sort of almost broken wings. Like, it's kind of a bit, again, disturbing, but in a very interesting way. And then I just wanted to show off this really nice picture of Clifftown. To me, it seems like since we've last spoke about Clifftown very briefly when we saw it, they've fixed up the skybox a little bit. So that's a nice thing to know. This video is kind of all over the place as it typically is, but I think that I'm starting to see for me, this maybe it's a placebo, but I'm starting to see the polish, you know, start to come in with Reignited. You know, obviously everyone's on edge, and they're like, we want this to be the best game it can be. And there's obviously been concerns about the downloads and whether it's been rushed and everything. But, you know, at the risk of sounding like I'm towing the company line, you know, it's they are very much involved. Toy Swap are very much involved in the community in terms of, at least, you know, maybe not super publicly like talking about it every single day, but they do watch you know, the videos that people do, and that whether that's like myself and others, like I mean, Jordan Fringe has actually said that about like how they've actually talked about, they've like had like the videos up in the screen there and stuff like that, and they all knew him, and they knew like other people as well in the community. So it's very exciting. Anyway, I'm very keen to see more. I think this week's gonna be a big week. Again, I'm going to be in Japan for the next 10 days, but I'm bringing my microphone and everything, so I will be there. Put it that way. I will be present in on YouTube, but I'll be seeing plenty of wrestling, plenty of New Japan and Big Japan and Old Japan, and unfortunately not Noah, Dragon Gate, all those promotions. That's going to be a lot of fun. Thank you guys for watching this video, though. I will see you very soon in the near future with more Spyro. Goodbye.